Good day everybody. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Welcome again to Updates in Financial Reporting Standards. This is our second lesson, IAS 12 Income Taxes, and our part 1 would be focusing on the basics of the provisions of IAS 12. So yung ating pong part 2 ng IAS 12 income taxes would be the complexities. So yung basic approach lang muna ang atin pong i-discuss sa araw na ito. So we will be having our introductory theories and problems. Next week naman po after this would be some of our complexities, no, and more complex problems relating to this. So relax lang tayo, no. Intindihin natin yung lalim muna. Ano ba yung mga tinatawag nating permanent and temporary differences, no, na nagko-cause ng differences between our profit recorded in accounting versus our taxable income. Medyo luma na actually ang IAS 12. It was first released in 1996. Tapos ang first implementation pa yata nito in 1998, no? So, wala pa yata kayo sa mundo. Ako ay nursery pa lang. Ito na po yung effective, no? Na accounting standard for income taxes. But again, I just want to reiterate na ito po ay hindi accounting standard na nagsasabi sa atin on how to compute taxes. But rather, this is the accounting standard that tells us how to properly compute and present them, no, in our financial statements. So it's more of a presentation purpose na accounting standard. Hindi po siya tax provision mismo. Okay? How do we properly present tax items in our financial statements? Yun po yung sakop ng IAS 12, no? So yun lang po yung gusto kong klaruhin. Hindi po siya tax regulation, kumbaga, no? It is the accounting standard that we use and we follow in order for us to properly present tax items in our financial statements. It is inherent in the recognition of an asset or liability that that asset or liability will be recovered or settled. Those recoveries or settlements may give rise to future tax consequences, and thus they should be recognized at the same time as the asset or liability. So, an entity should account for the tax consequences of transactions and other events in the same way it accounts for the transactions or other events themselves. We have to respect, no, those differences because of any recovery or settlement of an asset or liability and its potential tax implications. That's what IAS 12 introduces us with, and ano po yung mga provisions or yung mga nilalaman sa loob ng standard kung paano po talaga properly i-present siya in the financial statements. Let's first talk about the difference between accounting income and taxable income. Very simply, accounting income is income as how you know it in accounting. It is the net income for the period bago tayo magbawas ng income tax expense. So, ito yung nakasanayan yung net income before tax na magiging basis ng pagko-compute natin ng tax as to accounting purposes, parang ganon, no? It is the income computed in accordance with accounting standards. That's why it is called as pre-tax financial income. Okay? So, yun nga po, kasasabi ko lang kanina, ito po yung ating net income before tax. Which is eventually, pag binawasan mo ng na-compute nating income tax expense, yun yung magiging net income after tax, di ba? Pero, if we will be talking about accounting income, basically, it's the income before tax. Okay? Kaya nga ang tawag, formally, it's also known as pre-tax financial income. On the other side of the coin, we have taxable income, which is the income computed in accordance with tax laws and regulations of the land. Kung ano po yung ating Internal Revenue Code, yun po ang susundin po ninyo kung paano properly mag-compute ng ating income taxes. So, it is the income appearing on the income tax return. However, there is indeed a difference kung paano po natin compute ang ating pre-tax financial income or simply financial income versus kung paano po ba siya nire-regulate ng ating tax code. Magkaiba po talaga yon, no? So, meron po talagang lalabas na differences. And we have two kinds of differences. Una po, yung tinatawag nating permanent difference. And pangalawa, which is most of our complexities dyan manggagaling, yung tinatawag po nating temporary difference. Let's first talk about permanent difference. Permanent differences are revenue and expense items recorded for accounting purposes. Pero, pag taxable income na ang usapan, may mga revenue na hindi taxable at may mga expenses na hindi mo pwedeng i-deduct for tax purposes. Ang tawag po doon, permanent difference. Dahil sila po ay permanent difference, wala po tayong iniisip dito na timing difference. At that point in time, talagang hindi siya taxable for tax purposes. Or at that point in time, hindi rin deductible yung expense na yan for tax purposes. Yun nga lang, dahil sinusunod natin ang IFRS kung paano properly mag-compute ng income in accounting, no? We have revenue and expense items na kasali sa pagko-compute natin ng pre-tax financial income but never included for our calculation of taxable income for tax purposes. And again, that is our non-taxable revenues and non-deductible expenses. Ang tawag po doon, permanent differences. O, diretso na muna ako dun sa examples nun bago tayo mag-dig deeper sa temporary difference. Okay, examples of non-taxable revenues include gain from settlement of life insurance of officers and employees where the corporation is the named beneficiary. Pangalawa, dividend revenue received by a domestic corporation or non-resident corporation. Kanino galing? Galing sa isang domestic corporation. Pangatlo, and usually ito yung pinakamadalas lumabas na items sa mga problem, gains that are already subjected to final withholding tax. Best example, capital gains and taxes on bank deposits. So lahat yan, dahil sila po ay already subjected to final withholding tax, non-taxable na siya for income tax purposes. Ano naman po yung examples natin ng mga non-deductible expenses? Number one, fines and penalties for violation of law. So once you get fines and penalties, hindi po yan pwedeng i-deduct for tax purposes. Pangalawa, charitable contributions in excess of tax limitation. Bakit po tayo naglalagay ng tax limitation kapag charitable contribution? E di donate na lang ako lagi ng magdo-donate sa charity para malaki yung ibabawas ko no sa aking taxable income at liliit yung mababayaran kong tax. Kaya naglalagay po tayo ng cap. Naglalagay po tayo ng tax limitation sa ating charitable contribution. So anything or any charitable contribution in excess of tax limitation, hindi mo na pwedeng i-deduct, 'di ba? Pero sa accounting kasi, charity contributions are considered outright cost na pwede mo i-minus, 'di ba? So nagkakaroon tayo ng difference kasi pagdating sa tax purposes, hindi mo siya pwede i-minus anything in excess of the tax limitation. And number 3, insurance premiums for life insurance of officers where the corporation is the designated beneficiary. Yan po yung examples natin ng permanent differences na talagang wala ng timing difference. At that point in time, no, sila po ay non-taxable revenue or non-deductible expense. Wala nang bawian. Permanente differences yan. Hindi siya magkakos ng kahit anong future taxable or deductible amounts na nangyayari naman sa, papasok na ako sa, temporary differences. Temporary differences are differences between the carrying amount of an asset or liability versus is tax base. May tinatawag tayong tax base. Pag-uusapan natin yan later. Ano ba yung tax base na yan? And because of those difference, they have future tax consequences because there are timing differences as to its recognition. So, when your temporary difference is taxable, it results to a future taxable amount which then results to a DTL. Ano yung DTL? Deferred Tax Liability. On the other hand, meron po tayong deductible temporary difference which results to a future deductible of amount of which nagiging deferred tax asset or a DTA. Let's talk about current income tax expense. Ang current income tax expense, kung ano yung taxable income multiplied to the tax rate, yun na yun. Current income tax expense. Now, the current tax for the current and prior period is recognized as a liability, income tax payable, to the extent that it has not yet been settled. Kasi pag masettle mo, basically, nagbayad ka na ng tax. So, di ba? Ganun lang. And it is an asset to the extent that the amounts already paid exceed the amount due, tax credits, na pwede mong ma-receive pabalik. Theoretically. The benefit of a tax loss which can be carried back to recover the current tax of a prior period is recognized as an asset. Sasabi ko lang, di ba? Current tax assets and liabilities are measured at the amount expected to be paid or recovered from taxation authorities using the rates or laws that have been enacted or substantively enacted by the balance sheet date. In short, yung sinasabi po nating current income tax expense, yan po yung kung ano yung taxable income natin na subject sa tax rate, yun yung ating current income tax expense. Na ang recording natin ay debit, current income tax expense, credit income tax payable, diretso. So sa deferred tax naman, yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, 'di ba, nagkakaroon nga po tayo ng timing differences that can result to a taxable temporary difference or a deductible temporary difference. So a tax liability or a tax asset, a tax obligation, a tax benefit can arise, sabi ko nga kanina, because of timing differences on how these items of income and expenses are recognized for financial statement purposes versus how they are being recognized for tax purposes. As you know, and as we have mentioned earlier, companies prepare their financial statements malamang through the accounting rules that we have, IFRS, or well, in other cases in the US, syempre US GAAP. But we calculate taxes under our Internal Revenue Code, hindi po ba? These two systems don't always match the timing of the recognition of income and expenses, in which this mismatch creates a temporary difference that leads to a deferred tax liability or a deferred tax asset. So, the carrying amount of an asset or liability will be compared to its tax base, the difference of which is called the temporary difference. If the temporary difference is multiplied to the tax rate, that will be your deferred tax. So a future taxable amount came from a taxable temporary difference. So if you multiply that to the tax rate, that is a deferred tax liability. And a deductible temporary difference came from, or it will result to a future deductible amount, and when you multiply it to the tax rate, that is your deferred tax asset. So it's a tax benefit. So let's talk about now what is a carrying amount and what is a tax base. Carrying amount is something that you already know. It's how we really define it in accounting. Carrying amount is the amount of an asset or liability reported in accordance with accounting standards. Pero, pag tax base, it is the amount attributable to an asset or liability for tax purposes. The tax base of an item is crucial in determining the amount of any temporary difference. Kasi nga po, may difference yung carrying amount versus the tax base na nagko-cost ng temporary difference, which then leads us to our deferred taxes. It effectively represents the amount at which that asset or liability would be recorded in a tax-based financial statement, in a tax-based balance sheet. Your textbook actually summarizes it like this, no? First, a taxable temporary difference creates a deferred tax liability. When you multiply the taxable temporary difference by the tax rate, it creates a DTL. When does a taxable temporary difference happen? When the carrying amount of the asset is greater than its tax base, or when the carrying amount of the liability is less than the tax base, or when accounting income is greater than taxable income, then it is a taxable temporary difference, and when you multiply it to the tax rate, it creates a deferred tax liability. Meanwhile, we also have deductible temporary difference. This deductible temporary difference creates a deferred tax asset. And when does it happen? Yung kabaliktaran. When the carrying amount of the asset is lesser than its tax base, or the carrying amount of the liability is greater than its tax base, or when your accounting income is lesser than your taxable income, then it creates a deductible temporary difference. When you multiply to the tax rate, it leads to a deferred tax asset. Let's apply these applications or these applications to the let's apply these concepts into an application through our simple problems. O, didiretso na ako, no? Para madali tayo. Okay, let's answer problem 4-2 of your textbook. Wait lang, ipuputi ko muna ito. Oo. Kita agad para may element of surprise naman. Nakalimutan ko. Ayan. Para may element of surprise naman tayo habang nagdi-discuss. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko. Wait lang. Habang nagre-record ko na ginawa, pasensya na. Para may element of surprise naman. All right. I'm ready. Pasensya na po. Okay. Let's start. Ayan. You are given the following information for Carlos Corporation for the year ended December 31, 2024. I-analyze po muna natin yung items A, B, C, D, E, F, and G kung sila po ay permanent difference na non-taxable or non-deductible or temporary difference na taxable or deductible in the future. And then ang sabi sa baba, the pre-tax financial income is 10 million. The prevailing income tax rate is 25% for current and future periods. Okay, let's start. Capital gains subjected to final withholding tax, since those are capital gains that are already subjected to FWT. Nasa example po natin yung kanina, that is non-taxable diretso. It is a permanent difference. Letter B, fines and penalties for violation of law. Anong sabi natin kanina? Pag nagka-fine or penalty, bawal ibawas sa taxable income para mapababa ang tax. That is diretso, permanent difference, non-deductible. Letter C, the premium payment for a life insurance policy on the President, but ang sabi sa problem, the President designated his family as beneficiaries. Hindi natin gagalawin. Okay? So that's neither. Wala yan. Kasi the President designated his family as beneficiaries. Letter D, tax depreciation in excess of book depreciation. O, tingnan natin mabuti. Tax depreciation in excess of, ibig sabihin yung tax depreciation ng mas malaki. Pag mas malaki ang tax depreciation mo, yung carrying, parang ang dating, yung tax base mo as to the asset mas maliit. Bakit? Mas mataas ang iyong tax depreciation, so yung carrying amount ng asset mo ang mas malaki. Anong sabi natin kanina? Kapag mas malaki, ang carrying amount ng asset nagiging taxable temporary difference, future taxable amount. So it is a taxable temporary difference, deferred tax liability yan later on. Okay? Letter E, excess of income on installment sales in accounting purposes over the income reported for tax purposes. So accounting income is greater than taxable income. This is also a taxable temporary difference. This is a future taxable amount. Next, rent collected in advance of period earned. Sa tax purposes kasi usually, ang taxation authorities ang sinasabi. Pag na-receive mo na yung cash, collection na yan, whatever form it is, it's considered income. Di ba sa accounting, when we collect rent in advance, that's actually a liability. That's unearned revenue. We collected rent in advance, di ba? Ang sinasabi ng tax purposes, huy, ano na yan? Income mo na yan. Report mo na yan. Pero sa accounting, hindi liability pa yan unearned revenue pa yan. So, ang dating, tax purposes naman natin ang mas malaki ang income. So, anong sabi natin kapag gano'n? If the taxable income is larger than your accounting profit, then it is a deductible temporary difference, which leads to a future deductible amount later on. Lastly, warranty provision accrued in advance of the period paid. Sa accounting income kasi natin, kapag may warranty provision, dinediretso na natin sa FS. Pero minsan dinidisallow yun sa tax purposes eh. So, ayun. Ang nangyayari, mas maliit na agad yung accounting income natin kasi nire-recognize agad natin sa FS yung mga warranty provisions eh. No? So, that is also a deductible temporary difference. Now that we have already classified them, pwede na natin computein diretso yung taxable income. Sabi sa problem, your pre-tax financial profit is 10 million. I-add po natin yung non-deductible expense kasi hindi mo nga siya pwedeng i-deduct. Di i-add mo. Okay? So, your non-deductible expense is yung ating pong fines and penalties for violation of law. You have to add that back 400,000. Okay? And then, yung ating pong non-taxable income, which is your capital gain subjected to final withholding tax, ibabawas mo yan kasi hindi siya dapat mataksan. Diba? So, minus 2 million. Do the math and your financial income subject to tax would be 8,400,000. Okay? And then our future deductible amounts are considered tax benefits kasi it becomes a deferred tax asset. So you have to add that. Okay? So your future deductible amount is 750,000 at saka yung 400,000, the total of which is 1,150,000. And then yung future taxable amount naman natin will later on lead to a deferred tax liability, so we have to deduct it. Okay, so ito yung 1,500,000 tsaka 1 million, so this is minus 2,500,000. Nakatotal na lang po ang presentation. Okay, do the math from the financial income subject to tax of 8,400,000 plus 1,150,000 minus 2.5M, your taxable income is now 7,500,000. Let's compute for your current income tax expense. Your current income tax expense will be based on your taxable income of 7,050,000. If the prevailing tax rate is 25%, you just multiply in your current income tax expense is 1,762,500. Your entry would be current income tax expense of 1,762,500. Credit derecho, income tax payable 1,762,500. Let us now extract your taxable temporary difference na pag minultiply natin sa tax rate, that is your DTL or your deferred tax liability. Our future taxable amount is 2,500,000. Yung future taxable amount na yan ang magiging DTL kasi. So your taxable temporary difference is 2,500,000. Apply the tax rate of 25%. Our deferred tax liability is 625,000. Debit, deferred income tax expense, 625,000. Credit, there is a separate account title for that, a deferred tax liability, 625,000. Next naman po, we will be extracting your deductible temporary difference coming from your future deductible amount, which is a deferred tax asset later on. So that is 1,150,000. You multiply it to the tax rate of 25% and your deferred tax asset would be 287,500. The entry would be debit, deferred tax asset, kasi asset po yan, baka malito kayo. Credit, deferred income tax expense of 287,500. Yung iba ang ginagamit dito is income tax benefit. Okay, deferred income tax benefit kasi naka-credit eh. So, hindi dinediretso sa expense T account. Okay lang naman din yun. So, to compute for your total income tax expense, isa-summarize lang po natin yung mga ginawa natin dito para ma-compute yung total income tax expense. Kunin po natin yung current nyo, which is yung 1,762,500. Tapos, simple lang, DTL versus DTA. Ganun lang, DTL versus DTA. So, 625,000 minus 287,500, that is ka dyan, 337,500. Okay? The total of which would be 2,100,000. Check natin kung tama kayo. Gusto nyo kung ma-confirm kung tama kayo dyan sa total income tax expense na 2.1M. Ganito lang. Kunin nyo yung mismong financial income subject to tax bago nagkaroon ng temporary differences. Okay? So, kunin ko to. Financial income subject to tax. Kakopy ko yan. Okay? Bababa ko dito. Yan. Okay. Multiply natin do sa tax rate na 25%. You know, you did it correctly. Kapag multiply po ninyo, yan, yung mismong financial income subject to tax, pag minultiply nyo yan dun sa tax rate, ang lalabas dapat yung 2.1M din. That is your checking. Kung tama po yung pagkaka-analyze mo sa current and deferred taxes mo. Imumultiply mo yung financial income subject to tax bago nagkaroon ng temporary difference. Kasi yan yung buong buo eh. Yan yung buong buo. Nandyan lahat sa loob. No? Yung mga temporary differences. No? You know you did it correctly if it's the same. Alright? Okay. Ganun lang kasimple ang ating problem 4-2. Let's answer your 4-3 and 4-4. For 4-3, Luzon Corporation has one temporary difference at the end of 2024 that will reverse and cause taxable amounts of 550,000 in 2025, 600,000 in 2026, and 650,000 in 2027. Again, it is a taxable amount in the future, so it is a future taxable amount, the total of which is 1,800,000. Since it is a future taxable amount, we have to deduct it. Okay? The pre-tax financial income is 3 million and the tax rate is 25%. So your taxable income is now 1,200,000. If your taxable income is 1,200,000 with a tax rate of 25%, your current income tax expense is 300,000. Debit current income tax expense 300,000. Derecho income tax payable 300,000. Now, your total taxable temporary difference is 1,800,000. With a tax rate of 25%, your deferred tax liability is 450,000. Debit deferred tax expense 450,000. Credit deferred tax liability 450,000. In the same way, let's do it naman sa DTA. Visayas Corporation has one temporary difference at the end of 2024 that will reverse and cause deductible amounts naman. 500,000 in 2025, 650,000 in 2026, and 400,000 in 2027. You will be adding that as the total future deductible amount amounting to 1,550,000. The pre-tax financial income is 2 million, so your taxable income is you add your future deductible amount 3,550,000. Okay? If your taxable income is 3,550,000 at a tax rate of 25%, your current income tax expense is 887,500. Debit current income tax expense of 887,500. Credit income tax payable 887,500. Then, your deductible temporary difference that we have computed earlier of 1,550,000, which is the total of the three, apply the tax rate of 25%. Your DTA is 387,500. Debit deferred tax asset 387,500. Credit income tax benefit 387,500. Same pattern, no? So, ganun lang. Pinakita ko lang po dito yung pinagkaiba kung anong gagawin kapag future taxable amount at saka future deductible amount. Okay. Ito, wala sa libro nyo. Try nating sagutan. Zeph Company prepared the following reconciliation of pre-tax financial income to taxable income. Meron tayong pre-tax financial income na 1,600,000. Non-taxable interest received of 50,000. So basically, that is a permanent difference. And then meron tayong long-term loss accrual in excess of the deductible amount of 100,000 which is added, which is basically a future deductible amount. And the depreciation in excess of financial depreciation, mas malaki yung tax depreciation, ibig sabihin, so mas mataas ang carrying amount ng asset. So this is a future taxable amount, kaya minus. Okay? The result of which is a taxable income of 1,400,000. What amount should be reported as current income tax expense? You just multiply your taxable income by the tax rate. So that amounts to 350,000. What amount will be reported as deferred tax liability? Edi yung future taxable amount of 250,000. So, 250,000 times 25%, 62,500. What amount should be reported as deferred tax asset at year-end? Edi yung future deductible amount na 100,000. So, 100,000 times 25%, 25,000. Your total income tax expense would be like this. Kunin natin yung current na 350,000, yung ating pong deferred tax liability na 62,500 versus the deferred tax asset na ima-minus natin sa DTL, 25,000. Total income tax expense, 387,500. You know if you did it correctly if you do the following. If your pre-tax financial income is 1,600,000, your non-taxable interest received, or basically your permanent difference, minus 50,000, your income subject to tax is 1,550,000. You check it with a tax rate of 25%. Pag ang lumabas ay 387,500, ibig sabihin, you did it correctly. O, diba? Easy lang. Okay. Yun na yun. So, ang summary natin, ang starting point mo, accounting income. Add or subtract lahat ng permanent difference. I-add mo syempre kapag ka non-deductible, ibabalik mo. Kapag ka non-taxable, ma-minus mo kasi hindi siya dapat masubject sa tax. Yun yung income subject to tax. Depende kung future taxable or future deductible amount, add or minus your temporary differences. And that is your taxable income. That taxable income will be multiplied to the tax rate, and that is your current income tax expense. Kapag ka po yung inyong temporary difference ay future taxable amount, it results to a DTL. Kapag ka naman yung temporary difference nyo is a future deductible amount, it will result to a DTA. Diba? So, yun yung magiging deferred income tax expense or deferred income tax benefit. Okay? And then, your total income tax expense, kinukuha po yan using your current income tax and the net amount of your DTL versus DTA. Okay? You know you did it correctly when your income subject to tax multiplied by the tax rate, makukuha nyo is the same amount. Yan lang po ang basics natin ng income taxes under IAS 12. Our next meeting, we will be discussing naman po yung complexities, yung mga operating loss carry forward, yung mga nagkakaroon ng reversals. Mali yung thank you ko. Dapat ano yan? Lesson 3, IAS 12 Income Taxes 2. Sorry. Mali yung thank you ko. Hindi ko nabago. Okay? So, see you again po. Tsaka face-to-face yata yon mga kapatid. So, yung part 2, yung complexities ng IAS 12, kita-kits po tayo mga kapatid. Thank you for being with us today. And pwede nyo na pong start sagutan yung mga MCQs ng libro, dun sa mga basic parts para matry nyo na pong sagutan. Okay. Thank you very much po.